I'll turn my dad.
All right, can you hear me? I heard you for 1 second, and then your voice cut out. So no, I heard you for 1 second right at the start of the call, and then since then I haven't been able to hear you at all. So Skype is actually not blocked in China. The government does not block or prevent you from using Skype. Yo, what's up? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Check 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Testing, I can hear you.
Fabulous.
All right.
It is what it is, man.
The floor, I'll let
No, man. I mean, the only thing I want to hear from you, you know, when you were sitting there, you were the smartest guy on that bench. You were the smartest guy in the room. And I got a ton of fan mail from people who only watched that video because I shouted it out. And they wrote to me saying, man, you were right. Cheetah was the most intelligent person in that room. He was the...
You're confusing my on-camera.
I know. No, I'm not, man. No, dude, I'm the one guy who knows. Dude, I know there's a difference between you acting a fool. I know there's a difference between, you know, the role you play and who you really are. I know that. Not everyone knows that. But you know, I was the guy who pointed that out with Saoirse Morava too. A lot of people put on a persona, and I know you're trolling about 85% of the time. I know it. I know the difference between who you really are and who you pretend to be. And that's why you should have tried to stay my friend, man. It's really a shame, because we did get to know each other well enough that I could tell when you were trolling, and I can tell when you're being who you really are, and I can tell when you're trying to be who you aspire to become, which is also a beautiful thing, man. But yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think you or I are here right now to talk about friendship. Am I?
You ain't. Why don't you tell me what's the of all the things that got said to you when you were in LA on this trip? Why don't you show me what was the most intelligent thing that Nina and Randa said to you? Did they have any words of wisdom for you that you feel you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life?
I mean, I'm not here to talk about my private conversations with Nina and Randa, but yes, I did speak with Nina and Randa, and they were very helpful. They did give me a lot of helpful advice while I was there. So did the rest of their family, and you know, I'm going to leave it at that for right now, but they were, yes, they were very encouraging, very helpful, very insightful, and, you know, maybe not to somebody that, you know, doesn't want to kind of live the life that I want to live, but they did offer me much insight into, you know, just the expo and kind of the world out there, and I was really appreciative of it.
Oh, well, man. So you got off Anavar, and are you back on nicotine? Is that the other change I'm hearing in your voice, or what? Because, I mean, last time we talked, I think you were on the 1,2-M. You were quitting nicotine, and you were on the pills, yeah?
I'm no longer on the Anavar cycle. I did cycle off of that a couple of weeks, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I am back to vaping. So it's not summertime anymore. I'm not quite as into my cardiovascular exercise as I was, you know, a couple of months ago. So I said, fuck it. You know what I mean? I was going through, you know, a little bit of personal drama, and I decided to break down and pick up the vape. But, you know, we all have our vices.
No shade. But I take it also...
Vaping. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm doing a pretty good job.
Totally understand. But also, you do use some kind of exogenous testosterone or pro-hormone testosterone booster, I take it, right?
I mean, are we here to talk about my steroid use?
Dude, it's an open-ended conversation.
We can.
Dude, sorry, correct me wrong. Cheetah.
I'm no longer taking it. yes, I was taking Anavar, but I'm no longer taking it.
Okay, but Anavar is one thing. The testosterone boosters are another. So I mean, are you still using a pro hormone or a testosterone booster?
No, I haven't used a testosterone booster in quite some time.
Okay, so that's a big change in your life. No, I mean, look, dude, we can take it.
Big changes in my life, but that's not the biggest change.
Yeah, well, me too. In case you haven't heard, but no, I got sympathy for you. It's just you don't always have sympathy for me. But just a couple.
I'm not asking for your sympathy or your pity.
Oh no, Cheetah, I didn't say you were asking. Cheetah, I didn't say you were asking. I didn't say anything like that. But no, it's interesting to know that those are some of the changes that are in a sense on camera all the time, but they're also behind the scenes. And I can certainly imagine how those changes in your drug habits, to be blunt, will change the way you conduct yourself in some of these high stress situations. So that's all. I'm just saying I can sympathize. I know you don't need my sympathy, but that's cool. But you were just saying online a couple minutes ago, and I know you're trolling, and I know you're playing around, and I know you're not nearly as stupid as you pretend to be. You were saying that I was on steroids. So, that's the game you play, man. And you know it's not true, but that's fine. You weren't even going to ask me about that, because you know I'm not on steroids.
I threw out a wild steroid. But
no, you see...
I'll say this too, though. You're telling me now that you're, giving me a little offhand compliment about my intelligence, but just a couple of days ago, you were denouncing me for being one of the biggest idiots that you've ever tried to associate yourself with. And actually what you said is the only reason that you reached out to me was because of, and I quote, your generosity of spirit. So let's not sit here and play this game and pretend that, you think or have any respect for my level of intelligence, whether it be academic or emotional intelligence or whatever.
Cheetah, I haven't pretended anything.
On video, so I'm not. What's with the
Cheetah, I haven't pretended anything. Cheetah, I've been very honest with you throughout. And I mean, if you want to talk about that, yeah. Sure, Cheetah. I've been honest with you the whole time. You just mentioned you referred yourself as a college dropout. Did you decide to drop out of the program? Because I don't follow your videos, so I don't know. Did that happen? Did you drop out of your college program?
No, I'm currently in college right now.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Good for you. Sorry, because I guess you were joking before, but you said you were a college dropout. Okay, yeah. No, but I mean...
Been in and out of college for quite some time now, but we all know that.
Well, yeah, but in terms of your journalism degree, et cetera, I mean, I knew your whole situation, what it was a few months ago, so you're still on that. Good.
That's a good positive change, That's another big positive change, I guess you could say, in my life. But I don't imagine we're here to talk about my aspirations to get a college degree either, are we?
Well, dude, the last time I was on the phone with you, you were screaming at me that I had to suck your dick, among other things. So, I mean, in terms of the range of behaviors that are possible when I get on the phone with the vegan Cheetah.
I can look back on that and admit that was not my most flattering moment in time.
That's almost an apology, Cheetah. Outstanding.
I'm very unapologetic. You know this by now.
Well, and you know the opposite about me. I apologized to Freely when she didn't deserve an apology. I apologized to a piece of shit like Vegan Revolution. He's someone you and I can both agree is a piece of shit when he didn't deserve an apology. I apologized to all kinds of people. And I reach out positively to all kinds of people who I think are scumbags. I reached out positively to Vegan Ava. So, and when I talk about generosity of spirit, that's what I'm talking about.
Do you not think that you, owe a couple certain people an apology for some offhand comments that, in your words, you made in passing? I mean, do you think that maybe you might owe some sincere apologies just because, I'm just not sure where you're going with your recent content. But enlighten us.
Well, Cheetah, I mean, I know you actually do know what's going on. I know right now you're playing dumb to make it better for us, which I don't fault you for. And really, even in journalism, that's a style.
I think I know what's going on.
Yeah, and I know that you know. But I mean, the difference between me and many YouTubers, not all, but the difference between me and someone like Happy Healthy Vegan or someone like Jeff or many, many channels is that when I come on camera, I am actually sharing real emotion, my real perspective, my real opinion. And in general, I'm giving it to you in a very raw and unedited form. And so when I called those people idiots, I don't think anyone who's watched even the 10 minutes out of that video, it's a 20-minute video, but I don't think anyone would get to the 10-minute mark and think that I'm trolling. There's no trolling in that video. It's completely sincere and completely to the point. And it's not pointless. Like, I'm not calling them idiots because I think it's funny. I'm not calling them idiots to get views. I'm driving a real point. That's what I'd say, but just that's the first point.
The girl's looks. First of all, in my personal opinion, I'm struggling to.
But look, Cheetah, you're smarter than this, man.
Secondly, you have a daughter of your own, and the only reason I can see for you coming at the twins like that is to somehow get to Jeff or the rest of their family. Look, in my mind, that's what your motivation is.
Cheetah,
how would you respond to that?
Cheetah, I appreciate what you're doing right now as an art form, and you may remember, like a year ago, I said to you that you could try doing stand. Yeah, Cheetah. I'm replying to you. Yeah, but Cheetah, like any art form.
Open up the floor. Let's get some answers here.
Cheetah, but like any art form, what you're doing is inherently artificial, i.e., fake, i.e., dishonest.
What I'm doing right now is broadcasting. This is very real. There's nothing really artificial about this or about this conversation. I mean, can we stay on topic, please? Can you humor me and just stay on topic, please? Hello?
Hi, Cheetah. Why don't you look?
Talk about apologies. Would you consider apologizing for making those statements and maybe retracting some of those statements that you made about Nina and Randa? Just because it's, number one, it's irrelevant to your content, my content, anybody's content, and number two, just out of respect for the fact that you're a father, Jeff's a father. What would you do? If somebody came at.
So that's a really big topic, which I'm very happy to talk about. Me as a parent and my daughter. I'm very happy to talk about that. But you asked two questions, so I can answer the first part first because I'm just trying to answer your whole question. But Cheetah, you know exactly how sincere I'm being in that video. You know I'm not playing around, and also you're smarter than you're pretending to be. The other names in that video,
I don't want to talk about how smart you think I'm pretending to be.
No. Just why don't you let me finish the sentence? Cheetah.
People have denounced you for, including Happy Healthy Vegan.
A lot of people. Yeah, I know.
I want to hear.
Yeah, but Cheetah.
You consider, apologizing or retracting the statements.
Right. So I'm asking you, Cheetah. You actually know who Gary Francione is. You know who Gary Yorovsky is, and you know what I've said about this stuff. You actually understand what that video is really about. You're pretending you don't because it makes it more entertaining. But you know what that video is actually about. You get the point. You're not that dumb. And most of these people playing the game do not get the point and do not know what the video is about.
Why not put Gary Yorovsky in the title of the video?
Well, he's in the description. The full list of every single person mentioned, including Breeze Harbor. I'm answering your question. Because the title of the video...
If the video and your intention is to call Gary Yorovsky, why not include him in the title? Why include me and Nina and Randa?
Because you...
It's a pretty simple question.
Well, are you going to let me answer? Do you want to hear me answer? I answered that question for Klaus yesterday, too. Cheetah. You haven't winning. You just asked now and then I couldn't get an answer. Cheetah, you and Nina and Randa are the people addressed within the first 2 minutes of the video. That's why your names are first. And the other names are there in the order of appearance.
Several times, actually, 3 different times.
Cheetah, the names are in order of appearance. So Breeze Harper's name appears before Gary Francione's, not because Breeze Harper is more important. So there is an answer to your question.
So why not include them in the title? That's what I don't understand.
Because the title isn't long enough to have 20 names in it. So the list of names continues in the description. But if you read the text...
Put Nina and Randa in the title for the views. Is that what it is?
No, it's what's discussed in the first 2 minutes, and it's the topic of the video. That's why it's returned to in the conclusion. The video has a very clear topic and thesis. Look, Cheetah, you're playing dumb. Why don't you tell me, what is the thesis of the video? What is the thesis of the video, Cheetah?
I allowed you to come on my broadcast, and I really don't expect you to insult me here or make some motivation here or
oh sure, pretend you're offended. Cheetah, Cheetah.
Some questions, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to.
I understand. So, Cheetah, in your opinion, is this a hot or not video? Is that the topic of the video? You're not that stupid. You know what the video's about. So what's the topic? Is it Nina and Randa hot or not? Is that the topic? Because plenty of people have done that video.
Here's the thing. First of all, I didn't ask.
What is the topic?
Your video. I asked you simply, why did you include Nina and Randa, and why did you make the statements you made about Nina and Randa?
Right. And I mean, that's the question. Right. So Cheetah, what is the video of it? Well, actually, I was going to answer the second half of your question. Yeah, I was going to answer the second half of your question. You asked an interesting question before about how my own daughter fits into it, and I'm happy to talk about that. But why don't you summarize your audience? Because some of your audience haven't watched this video. It's 20 minutes long. Why don't you, as a journalist, just tell our audience what is the video about? Because it's not about whether or not Nina and Randa are attractive people. That's not the topic of the video.
Again, Eisel. To be quite honest, I don't think the viewers are interested in what the video is about specifically. And I'm personally not asking that. I'm asking a very direct question about.
How are you going to interview me? No, Cheetah. How are you going to interview me about a video while pretending you don't know what the video is about or changing the topic of the video? The video, what is it about? We're going to talk for 20 minutes about a video, and we're going to pretend we don't know what the video is about.
Gary Yourofsky, vegan revolution, Nina and Randa, or the political turmoil in Syria. Regardless, what you said was that Nina and Randa, and I quote, are not good looking. Right. Then you went on to say that, so it's just the ridiculous statement that Nina and Randa are not beautiful. They're not even average looking girls in Los Angeles. You went on specifically to describe that Nina and Randa are aspiring actresses and that they don't stand out. They could never be models. And then you, later on in the video, after you talked about Gary Yourofsky, you went on to talk about how Nina and Randa were bikini wannabes, I think is what you said, something like that. Bikini wannabes on YouTube, and that they think of themselves as vegan leaders, and how much of a joke that is. So specifically, with that content that you produced, what do you have to say about it? That's what we want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about.
Okay, so your question is, what do I have to say about it? Is that, I mean, I can answer that question. That's kind of broad. Your question is, what do I have to say about it?
What was your intention? What was the purpose of doing that?
Okay, that's a question.
The video was not about Nina and Randa. These are your words.
No, okay. Cheetah, I'm happy to answer that question.
It wasn't about Nina and Randa. If the video is about Gary Yourofsky.
Cheetah, I'm not complaining. It's just I'm just clarifying. That's your question.
Why even include them in the title or the content of the video?
So, Cheetah, I was just confirming that your question was, what do I think about it? It's fine. You can ask that question. It's just like, okay, you seem to be leading to a more specific question. And then your question is, what do I have to say about it? Okay, so that's a kind of meandering around the block question. So, first and foremost, if anyone is interested in the video, should watch the whole 20-minute video, because it very clearly sets out its argument. Yeah, but, Cheetah, that's the question you asked me, was what do I have to say about it? So I'm going to answer that question now. All right, yeah, you can change your question. That's the question you asked.
I'll give you 2 minutes. It's like the debate. It's like the American debate.
No, Cheetah, if you want to ask a better question, go ahead. You took way more than 2 minutes to get to that question.
I am giving you the opportunity here in front of over 200 people, which the opportunity to talk to. So, get to it.
Cheetah, so your question was, what do I have to say about my own video?
Now I can see why your wife left you. I totally get it now. I do. I thought about it.
So, look, Cheetah, if you
impossible, Eisel. This is why people won't cooperate with you. You're impossible.
I love the games you play, Cheetah. I love it. But it's
impossible to even talk to.
So, Cheetah, you've just taken the world's most bland and boring question, which is what you have to say about it, and you've tried to spice it up by throwing in some totally irrelevant insults about my divorce, like as if I'm going to lose my temper with you.
Are we going to get to the answer, or are we going to, what are we doing here?
Sure. Cheetah, if you want to know what I think about my video, your very probing and deep question, I think I'm raising a really important point that's stated on screen in a graphic, and it's also stated in the thumbnail. And that's in the words used there. I was saying, compared to these idiots, the intellectuals in veganism are even worse. And I talk about a series of intellectuals. Some of them are professors and authors, people with PhDs, people in high status positions, people like Gary Francione and Wayne Seung, leaders of foundations and lawyers.
Okay.
No, no, Cheetah. Real vegans care, and actually you care, because I remember when you used to make Cheetah. You pretend to be stupider than you are.
Completely irrelevant to my life and what I do.
I remember the videos you made about them, and I remember you talking about me with them. I know you've read their stuff and you've thought about it. You used to care a lot about social justice issues. I remember all the phases your channel's been through. You can play this game with your audience, but I know who you really are. So whatever, I don't care. This is a persona.
As well as you think you know me, but
Cheetah, you are as much playing a character as Saoirse Morava, okay?
Gary Yourofsky and some of the the idiots that are at the forefront of the political movement that is veganism, right? So that's what your video is about. That's what you're saying, basically.
It presents a contrast. It presents a very definite thesis, and you can see that in the thumbnail.
Do you think you could come up with a different contrast besides, Nina and Randa? It seemed a little random. It just seemed like random. But then when we think of the history you have with Veg Source over the last couple months, maybe it's not so random.
Oh yeah, right. So Cheetah.
Why contrast with Nina and Randa?
Cheetah, these probing questions you're asking me, why don't you look at the list of the last 20 or 30 videos I've made? Like, I upload a lot. I've uploaded more than 400 videos.
I
So
consume so much content on a daily basis. I try to stop by your channel as often as I can.
Cheetah, I'm answering your question. Cheetah, I'm answering your question. You asked the question.
Contrast Gary Yourofsky and your, disagreements with some of the leaders, what you call are leaders in the vegan movement. I don't think of them as leaders.
You're all
I
leaders.
call them leaders. Why?
I call Nina and Randa leaders also. I think they're all leaders.
And then why bring my name into it?
I brought your name in, Charles.
You're gonna get more views.
Charles, I brought your name in because you were the smartest guy on the bench. Cheetah.
Put Nina and Randa in the title. You're guaranteed to crack 1,000 views before the end of the night. Am I correct?
Cheetah, I disagree completely. I think when I talk about all those other issues, people really do care. And I think I got far more views, actually, on my videos dealing with Gary Yourofsky than on that video. And, I speak to a small specialized audience, which again, you can play dumb, but you already know this about me. I'm not trying to reach a mass audience. So I talk really sincerely about issues I care about, and that includes people like Gary Yourofsky, Gary Francione, Direct Action Everywhere, political and legal issues, blah, blah, blah. And, there are a few thousand people who care about my content. But no, I'm not trying to reach the same audience that Nina and Randa are reaching with their great video, the Lick My Body Challenge. So, if I have the floor, that's what I'd really like to talk about with you, Charles.
How are you the expert in, you know what I mean, in using mass communications to talk about veganism? What makes you the expert if, you're trying to pander to the smallest audience you can possibly conceive? Like, what makes you the expert then? That's another question I would ask you.
Cheetah, have you watched the video Lick My Body Challenge by Nina and Randa? Have you watched that video?
To be honest with you, I stop by Nina and Randa's channel as often as I can, but again, I consume so much content on a daily basis, I do not watch every single video.
Okay, so you can guess from the title what that is, the Lick My Body Challenge by Nina and Randa.
I can't guess. To be honest with you, it could be anything. I mean, with clickbait these days, I have no idea. Tell me about the video.
It's just what the title suggests, and it has had more than 2 million views, Cheetah. I'm sure you're jealous.
What's the problem?
You just asked me what expertise do I have to judge this type of material. I would ask you, how much expertise do you think I need to form an opinion on the content of the Lick My Body Challenge?
Okay, number one, why should I care about your opinion on the Lick My Body Challenge? All right.
Yeah, I'm just answering your questions. Lick
My Body Challenge have to do with your video that is supposedly about Gary Yourofsky?
Oh, well, it's about both. As stated, it's a contrast. And Cheetah, this comes back to your early question. You asked a question earlier that was really interesting. Some of your other questions are not so interesting, but about how my own daughter fits into it. How would you feel, or how do I feel, if your daughter made that video, the Lick My Body Challenge? Okay? I do not think that people like Jeff Nelson or Nina and Randa themselves are in a position to really front on this. Like, they're in a holier-than-thou position, and they're going to morally judge me for this video I've made. I think in terms of the moral judgment, the fact that these young women promoted Taco Bell is a huge ethical issue. Don't pretend it isn't. They did an advertisement for Taco Bell, promoting meat and dairy and fast food.
What's your point?
Okay?
They're
And they make their money by putting up videos. Sorry, well, I'm answering. Do you want to let me finish? And they make their money by producing videos such as the Lick My Body Challenge. So if you think that's above reproach, if you think nobody can criticize that in even the very mild and polite terms that I did on my channel, then I think you got another thing coming. Because that's a very reasonable criticism.
I mean, that right there proves to me that your level of emotional intelligence is very, very low, because what you did is not polite.
Okay. So Cheetah, the direct...
And none of the massive viewers don't agree with
Cheetah.
You know,
this is Cheetah, the fictional character, speaking.
What you did was polite. The criticism was not polite, and the fact that you say that, it proves to us that emotionally, the lack of emotional.
Okay, Cheetah. So why don't you do this as an exercise with me? What would be?
Not a good thing.
So Cheetah.
Even pander to a small audience.
I love this fictional character, man. You are as fake as Saoirse Morava on her worst day.
My dad is a professor of mass communications. Like,
oh wow, really, Cheetah? I didn't know that about you. Hey, Cheetah, did you grow up in a small town with dirt roads and no shoes? That's great. Really, your dad's a professor? I didn't know that about you. Wait a minute, Cheetah. Don't you insult me all the time because my parents pay for my university tuition? Unlike yourself, right? Really? Your dad's a professor?
Facts. Your parents.
Wait a second, Cheetah. Why did you just raise the fact that your father's a professor? Why is that? Sorry, Cheetah. Why did you just say that? Look, man, keep it real. Whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk about how ugly Nina and Randa are or what? I don't give a fuck. But I mean, come on, keep it real. Yeah. If we, Cheetah, if you.
It's obvious. I mean, I don't know what standards you're going by, but I mean, it's obvious that Nina and Randa are not ugly. It's obvious that they are actually very attractive young girls. And again,
okay, but Cheetah, so why are you right? So let me respond to that.
To Gary Francione or Gary Urofsky or any of these other nobodies that you mentioned, like the only name that actually means something to anybody was Nina and Randa. You know what I mean? So why? That's what I'm having trouble understanding the contrast there.
It's not. Well, that's not true at all. Those people reach a huge audience and they're tremendously influential. You know about Gary Francione and so on. You're just fronting. But anyway, I know this is the role you're playing for your audience and whatever. There's no point to doing that. I don't read
books written by nobodies that nobody's ever heard of. I mean, maybe your constituency worships these people, but my constituency just simply could care less about what some of these clowns are talking about.
Right. Okay. So
and you make them relevant every time you bring them up on their channel.
Okay, so your point is people don't read books.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking for your point.
Well, that actually wasn't a question. I don't mind. If you ask a question, it's fine, but if you make a point, I can reply to your point. Your point is people don't read books, therefore my channel should address Nina and Randa and should not address people like Gary Francione. That was the point you just made, whereas earlier you were suggesting the exact opposite.
Books. I said people don't read the books that you're reading because, to be honest with you, I mean, Gary Urofsky, I made one video about him like a year ago, and nobody's talking about Gary Urofsky but you.
Okay, Cheetah, so what is your point? That it's good that I made a video about Nina and Randa because that is what your audience wants to hear about? And your only interest...
My point is, if you're gonna throw shade at Nina and Randa and indirectly throw shade at Jeff Nelson because he didn't support you when
please not what it's about at all
during the Spider episode, it would be easier for you to just make a video simply stating that and coming at Jeff directly instead of trying to sit here and tell me the bold-faced lie and tell my viewers the bold-faced lie that your video was actually in fact about a real political intellectual issue that has to do with veganism, where you were really talking about Gary Urofsky when I think you mentioned him once, and you mentioned Nina and Randa 3 times in the video.
Cheetah.
So I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out right now. I think, for you to say that.
Cheetah, I'm really glad that you're off the drugs you were on before, and you're on different drugs, man. It sounds like it's really helped you out, man. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that you're off the steroids. Cheetah, I'm really glad that you're off the steroids. I'm really glad that you're off the testosterone. I'm really glad that you're back on nicotine. You know what? Because I mean, the last time you talked to me, you more or less had a nervous breakdown on camera and showed it at me repeatedly that I should suck your dick. So it really sounds like you've come a long way, Cheetah. But when you're ready to deal with the exact opposite of what you just said, when you're ready to actually talk to me about real vegan political issues, when you don't want to pretend that this is a tiff between myself and Jeff from Veg Source, when you're actually willing to deal with the content of the video, that's when I'd want to talk to you.
You know, deep.
I know, because you're a sack of shit.
As much as I possibly can. It seems like you talk a lot, and you do. You talk a really good game. But let's redirect the conversation. What is
Cheetah? Cheetah.
Enlighten us. What is à-bas-le-ciel doing politically for veganism today? Enlighten us.
Cheetah, did you watch the video? Did you watch my new video, which is addressed to Happy Healthy Vegan? Answers that question.
You want to talk about we can talk about how Happy Healthy.
Yeah, there's such nice people.
But I'd like to know.
Cheetah.
I'd like to know. Are you currently doing anything for the political issues within veganism?
Cheetah, do you ever ask yourself that question? Because all you are now is a fame whore.
I mean, I just came back from the Healthy Lifestyle Expo.
Oh yeah, right.
Connections offline as I possibly could, and I established at least some really strong acquaintanceships with some people in Los Angeles, and not only that, I really paid attention to more than just my speech on vegan drama at the expo, and I think I got a lot out of it, and I definitely think I have a much better direction of where I'm going as a vegan, and making real changes in not only my life but in the life of others. So again, I'm going to ask.
That's great, Cheetah. Cheetah, I'm so happy for you. Why don't you keep telling yourself that? All right, Cheetah, you make your living.
Are you going to answer my question?
Cheetah, you earn your living through slander and defamation, and you know that. You earn your living by coming on the internet and saying things that you know to be false, in the hope that your audience of morons will throw a few extra views your way. Because I know it inside and out. I know other people you've slandered. So, Cheetah, I mean, it's great that you've made this, myth of your own morality.
You call them fake vegans. That's pretty slanderous, for another vegan to say. I mean, that's really
if you could.
And that's another thing I want to talk about too. I mean, if you don't want to answer the last question, we can talk about this. Like, why play the fake vegan card? Like, didn't we work really hard this summer to kind of get away from that culture?
Didn't we work very hard? Yes, Cheetah, didn't we? What did you do? What did you? Yeah, that's right. And then you turned around and you embraced Durian Rider, and you claimed that my court case is fake when you know it's real, and you denounced me and defamed me. Cheetah, you claimed that you speculated that I had some kind of love affair with a 16-year-old when you know I didn't. You intentionally scraped the bottom of the barrel for every crummy lie and recycled bullshit that you knew Durian Rider invented to thin air just to get attention. And yes, you were on drugs at the time. You were high on Anavar and I think testosterone, and you were trying to quit vaping.
What does that have to do with the fake vegan comment towards him?
I'll tell you, because it explains you, Cheetah. It explains why you're a fake vegan. Cheetah, you are a fake vegan. That's the relevant. Cheetah, you asked me about the use of the term fake vegan. It's used to describe people like you, because you're a parasite on this movement. You're not making a positive contribution. You're doing your little bit to exploit and destroy the movement. You are a fake vegan, Cheetah.
Can you tell me why you think that? Because just a few months ago, you said the exact opposite.
I didn't say the exact opposite, Cheetah. I really didn't.
My format hasn't changed that much.
Cheetah, it's not the exact opposite of what I said before. I have a certain level of tolerance for you.
You encouraged me many times, and you said you thought what I was doing was great. You thought I was versatile. You said that, even though I don't think of myself as a political activist, you think that I'm making real political changes. And I mean, these are things that you've said.
Cheetah, I gave you very specific praise because in the past some of the things you did were really good, and the praise I gave you was completely sincere. And Cheetah, everything that was good about your channel.
Why would you call me a fake vegan?
Cheetah,
It's
everything...
not a good look.
Cheetah, everything that was...
Elaborate.
All right, my turn to talk. Everything that was good about your channel, you stopped doing. And everything that was bad about your channel became worse and worse. And your excuse for denouncing me last time was that you were so hurt, you were so upset that I would dare to compare you to Durian Rider. But the reality is today, you're worse than Durian Rider. Because when Durian Rider defames people, at least he's being sincere. And you're playing an insincere game and just trying to get people's attention and just trying to get views and make money out of the movement. And some of us out here are actually sincerely involved in trying to set up a real movement.
You know, if you want to say I'm worse than Durian Rider, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm not the one giving any kind of diet advice. I'm not the one telling anybody to change their way of life. I mean, I'm just entertaining.
Let me tell you the difference between you and Durian Rider. When Durian Rider, yeah, Cheetah, when Durian Rider says that he cured Crohn's disease, he actually believes that. When Durian Rider says that his weight loss advice will change your life and will cure your mental disorders and help you overcome schizophrenia, he believes that. He's speaking with conviction. And when I say in my video that I think Gary Yourofsky is an idiot, I'm not trolling either. I'm really being sincere. And that's something me and Durian Rider have in common. We come on camera and we share something real from our lives. And you, Cheetah, do not even have that quality. You're a fraud and a fake, and you are the lowest rung of fake vegan. Cheetah, 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 I know you. Cheetah, Cheetah, I know you. I knew you back in the day. You talked to me after your mom died, etc. We used to be tight. What you're doing now, it's corrosive, it's fake, it's bad for the movement, and it's even bad for you. And I don't care if you... And Cheetah, I don't care...
Your subbies are down.
But Cheetah, Cheetah,
The
Cheetah.
numbers themselves tell the truth. I mean, like, you have all these opinions, but then you don't really... I mean, they're just opinions. You don't have any real facts or rhyme or reason behind the things you say. And you're entitled to your opinions, but... You know, if we want to talk about corrosiveness within the vegan community, I mean, you've managed pretty much to burn every single bridge out there, and we anticipate Vegan Games is going to denounce you shortly.
Oh, yeah, right.
And, you know, the other
Cheetah.
thing is, too, Isel, is like, if you look at the numbers of your channel compared to mine, the only thing that's corrosive is your channel.
Cheetah.
You know, I've had a couple bumps here and there, but, you know what I mean? I'm doing really good.
Yeah, Cheetah, I know you think that. No, I don't, Cheetah. I think you're a sack of shit.
I mean, you're entitled to
Cheetah,
that.
Cheetah, you've convinced me that you're a fucking unredeemable idiot sack of shit. Okay, that's what you convinced me of, and I know you. I know you personally, okay? And a whole lot of other people who knew you personally, they've come to the same conclusions step by step. I don't use terms like burning bridges, but you know just a couple months ago, Cheetah. Cheetah, let me finish the sentence. Cheetah, let me finish the sentence. Cheetah, just a couple months ago, I invited you to join me in Thailand this December. Is connection still there? Is the call dropped?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. And you would have been there. Jason Pizzina would have been there. I invited Joe Vegan. Invited a whole bunch of people. We're going to have a totally positive event. Initially, we planned to do it where you lived in the U.S., so it'd be close for you and easy for you to go to because of your parole options. It was a totally positive, low-intensity, not particularly political event just so that people could meet each other face-to-face, do something positive. And you know that didn't happen because of you. So, you know, in an alternate universe, man.
It happened because of me? Like, what's stopping you? Hold the event.
Cheetah, we wanted to have that event for you with the same spirit with which, before you and I ever met, before you and I ever talked, I'm the guy who made that video congratulating you about getting out of rehab just because I wanted to support you. And you know what your contact was like back then. And in the same spirit, a lot of people just wanted to see you succeed, just wanted to support you, and wanted to have an event in Thailand. Originally, we planned it in the States, again, for you.
Well, if you want to have an event for me, I mean...
Cheetah.
Isn't the most
Cheetah. I know, but I asked you. Cheetah, you may forget, but Cheetah, we asked you. Cheetah.
Why not focus on that?
Cheetah.
Not focus on my lack of presence there.
Cheetah, you know what happened. Okay? Now that's never going to happen because of you. And you took the little bit of optimism.
With all those guys, aren't you?
Are you? No.
Oh, but
Cheetah, you just told me. Cheetah, you just told me. Cheetah, Cheetah, you just told me I burned bridges. Okay? The reality is everyone who believed in you, everyone who supported you, everyone who knew you, and everyone who cared about you, you burned the bridges with them because you tried to make a nickel and dime out of selling fake stories about their sex lives, about their private lives, denouncing and defaming them morally. And you even did it to someone as harmless as the vegan lass, a.k.a. Lauren Phoenix. That's who you are.
Harmless. I mean, that's, again...
Cheetah, that's who you are, and that's who you've become. And the reality is, yeah, that event is never going to happen. But think about how much more positive this whole situation would be if you had just been the guy who said, yeah, you know what? This thing in Thailand is positive. Let's do this. And again, we initially offered to do it in the States just for you.
Positive events. I mean, for this year, 2016, I've got my positive event gap filled. Like, I went to my positive event. You know what I mean? I'd like to do more positive events in 2017, too. But what I'm telling you is, you know, the event you shouldn't rely on whether, you know, Vegan Cheetah is going to be there or whether Vegan Cheetah is a scumbag or Vegan Cheetah is slandering people, like whatever it is.
It matters, Cheetah.
You know,
Cheetah.
It just doesn't sound like a really good basis to hold an event, you know, depending on Vegan Cheetah. I mean, I'm a YouTuber, for Christ's sakes.
Me too, Cheetah. I'm a YouTuber too. Do you realize that?
Sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
But you remind us when you come out with Nina and Randa are not beautiful. You remind us, Eisel, that you are a YouTuber. So, congratulations.
Uh-huh.
So, again, if you want to do the event, put the event on.
That event's never going to happen now. And it's really sad because, Cheetah, the stuff you do...
Why? Because nobody wants to work with you on it? Like what?
No. Cheetah, a lot of people want to work with me. That's not the issue at all. Cheetah, you took a positive situation. Cheetah, you took a positive situation where so many people believed in you and so many people supported you because at the time when it really mattered, you stood up and did the right thing and said the right thing in a storm of controversy about Durian Rider. And yes, you know, that was partly an opportunity for you to promote yourself, but you also took a morally correct position and you beat the hell out of it. You made a lot of videos that were entertaining and informative and that told the truth. And you destroyed that. And you destroyed that by telling lies and by trying to exploit your friendships with other people to make little nickels and dimes, telling fake stories about their sex lives and their private lives and their moral failings. That's what you've become. You've become somebody worse than Durian Rider. You are the lowest of the low.
That's exactly
and
what
this
I was doing when I was talking about Harley and Freely and the Thai fruit.
and I made videos defending Harley, and you know I did, and they're still up.
That's the only thing that's changed.
Nope.
Is the names of my titles.
No. There's always been a difference.
When it was directed towards Freely, Durian Rider, and the Thai Fruit Festival, it was all fun and games.
No.
But then...
You're playing dumb. You're playing dumb, and you know you are.
Scandal, and it happened to be somebody that you were having back...
Look, Cheetah, stop and keep it real. Cheetah, I don't do fiction. Cheetah, I only do non-fiction. Cheetah, stop. Stop. Cheetah, I only do non-fiction. Cheetah, if you're not going to keep it real, we're not going to talk. Okay? But I mean, keep it 100% real.
As real as it is.
Cheetah, when you broke the story that Harley and Freely had broken up, that their relationship ended, they were no longer boyfriend and girlfriend, I didn't know that. I was surprised. Somehow you did real reporting. You did original research. You talked to somebody. You've put the piece together, you figured it out, and then you kind of proved your case by going through videos and taking little bits of pieces. When you first reported that, I didn't even believe it. And eventually we found out you were right, but also you took the time to really break down and report it. That was real.
Most of the things I say...
That was real gossip.
...will end up being true, because that's what I do. I uncover it.
No, it's not. That's what you used to do, okay? And then you switch to being in a mode where you tell malicious lies that you know are not true, where you will go as far as pretending that I'm on steroids, that you did a couple minutes ago, where you will go as far as pretending that photographs some guy on a chat room doctored of putting my face on a porn star's body, that those are legitimate evidence, where you will make up and play games with the most outrageous lies. And you will sell out your own friends, and...
idea if this is true.
And you break all your own rules, okay? You defame me and say malicious things that impact me and my divorce and my ex-wife and my daughter. You have no limits. You have no druthers. You have gone from being someone who people cheered on heroically because you spoke truth to power. You challenged powerful people like Durian Rider when they were doing things that are really immoral and really criminal. And now you've become someone who panders to Durian Rider. Now you've become someone who pretends Durian Rider didn't do anything wrong when he threatened to murder me. When he threatened to have people beat me up in the street. So Cheetah, why did you tell me, Cheetah, you like this term flip-flop. Why did you flip-flop on that? Why is it that before you thought it was wrong for Durian Rider to have me beaten up on the street and dragged into jail, etc., and then you flip-flopped and pretended it was right and you apologized for donating to my legal fund? That's quite a flip-flop, seeing as you think Lauren's...
I did apologize for donating to your legal fund.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. Cheetah. That's why you're a fake vegan.
Pedophile on Facebook. You keep saying he slandered you and defamed you, but the truth is you're not famous. There's nothing to defame. And the second part is he didn't slander you because he didn't hurt any business. You don't have an income. It was wrong for me to donate to the legal fund and encourage my viewers to donate to that legal fund. Number one, because
Cheetah,
there's a lot of problems and a lot of holes in that legal fund, and we didn't really think it through all the way. And number two, yes, I was exploiting that for some views and at the expense of Durian Rider at the time, and I was angry with Durian Rider. And looking back on it now, I wish I would have seen things a little bit more clearly. But there's no legal fund. I know there's no legal fund.
See, this is the sense, Cheetah. This is the sense in which you are 100%. Cheetah, you are 100% playing a fictional character. So Cheetah, you are playing a fictional character right now. So Cheetah, you are 100% playing a fictional character right now. Okay, yeah, let's cut the bullshit, Cheetah. You have told all these lies about me and my sex life. I do want you to be, but you never will be because you've taken this path and you're sticking to it and it makes you money.